Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, and Master of Propaganda. We're off here to 1 vs 1 on Crossing in the Woods here between Jove in the north, fighting for the Wehrmacht for the 1st SS Panzerdivision Leibstandarte, with festering support, elite troops, and mobile defense, versus God is an Astronaut, fighting here for the United States of America for the 1st Armored Division here, with infantry company supporting him as well. We got a sniper start here from Joe in a rather irregular move. You rarely see that from the Wehrmacht. It's more in MDs or just a lot of grenadiers. Right here he goes for the sniper. God on the other hand, or Mr. Astronaut here, he's going for several riflemen. Just a regular infantry. He's heading sort of a bit east and west, whereas so far it seems Joe is heading east-west as well, going for the eastern victory point there. And of course with this move, while he will be able to a certain extent, do a lot of damage, bleed out, Astronaut, I mean, he won't be able to grab a lot of territory, so that'll sort of be sort of a weakness here of this sort of opening from Jove. It will be very sort of weak in terms of map control and actually sort of gaining resources that way. Whereas Astronaut will be able to get a lot of resources this way. They of course also have basically a resource advantage over Jove. So it really comes down to how much he can get out of that sniper, and to ensure he doesn't lose him in the early game, because if it does, that's GG. Going to ramming for Jove. Sniper heading towards the centre. In this move, of course, he's forced to basically use the sniper to grab territory a bit here and there as well. He's actually just going to roam and look for targets. Certainly bolder that way. Third rifle squad on the way for Astronaut. No sign of any docks there from Jove. I imagine there'll be some grenadiers, maybe an MD-42 sort of support and hold a bit of territory here and there. That would certainly benefit him. Going for the few there. Grenadier supporting. Sniper moving out support as well there. And there you go. Reactions under fire there from the Pioneers. Sniper still hanging about. Not quite committing yet, maybe sort of hiding. There's a little surprise there. Reactions fighting there from the small building of this, I don't know, sawmill, I guess. There you go, Pioneers moving up, Canadians moving as well. We've got the sniper. He seems to pull back actually. Right here we're seeing Job, despite having gone for sniper shot, he's being very non-committant with him. I mean, he's fighting a 340 manpower, basically ensuring he's not going to grab as much territory as he can. And he's, not using him very aggressively. I mean, that's going to be a huge drain on him for every moment that sniper is basically doing bugger all. I mean, that's almost as bad as just losing him with the first move. So there we go. Finally going to have something happening here. Rifleman taking a shot there. Basically using him sort of in any engaging between Grenadier and a rifle squad. He will have the advantage essentially as long as he doesn't have the Grenadier standing in there to cover. He can quickly sort of bleed up the Americans. There we go, down to 3. There's also going to put some hits there. Sniper should get some more. We got more rifle there running for Astronaut. He's just really pouring it in there. More Grenadiers there for Jove. No MD-42 to hold them back. Reactions held back there. Pushing for the sniper there. Grenadiers push back. Basically overwhelmed here by 3 rifle squads. Basically pushing in all at the same time, more or less. Sniper there trying to keep sort of killing away. 3 kills there. Still rather rough. They're going for the cut-off. Reactions there are pushed back. He's going to have to sort of can't really push forwards for that, since now of course getting hit from all sides, plus of course there's still this cut-off point to worry about. Of course the question is, what will God go for next? So Astronaut, whatever to call him, Lieutenant or Captain, both of course have options here. Against Jove, Pioneers they're pushed away. Sniper ranging ahead, 4 kills so far. Do think he got a bit more had Jove been feeling a bit more confident and aggressive. So far though, Astronauts managed to gain most of the map here, basically in one fell swoop. There you go, Sniper's getting some hits there with his scoped G43, though most snipers would have stuck to the counter-antic key since it was more suited as a sniper rifle in terms of power. Of course the G43 could maintain a higher rate of fire, but I don't think that was sort of most snipers' priorities, as more as was, hitting and killing. Grabbing points there. Sort of a broader sweep here now from Jove towards a bit centre focus, but still broader. Which of course could make him weak to a counter-attack if sort of Astronaut hits him in the right spot. And he is going for the captain there. Very common as of late, the captain. Very few players going for the lieutenant. More, again, with the captain, these cheap. I mean, it's 10 fuel sort of between them, and you can also that way rush out to much faster. For most players, there's not really, much of a disagreement there. Of course, you then basically give up with the chance of using mines and 50 calibers. That way, sort of sent giving up holding ground versus infantry. But that's about it, really. Of course, he's figuring here with infantry, the light machine guns, he can basically hold up things nicely there. Anyway, snipers there, Grenadiers falling back as Astronaut here pushes ahead aggressively for the first armament. Like to make a nice company up here for Jove. Go for Pentagon. It is half-track scout core, of course, just a pack 40. If he sees the captain, I imagine there will be a pack 40 rather rapidly. Then again, in most cases, it's going to be the captain. In most cases, it's going to be either quick 222 or quick pack 40. But right here, we do see the scout car for Jove. He spotted the captain, so will he still go for him? Will he sort of react to this? And change his build order. There we go. Scout car was dropped. Jove wanted none of that once he realised there's a guy with bazookas, which helps certainly keep the 222 in check. Of course, there's also more of a threat there of the steward, so in that case, the pack 40 will certainly seem like the more sensible choice there. He could, in theory, also go for Panzer gun of this and quick for Panzer Shreks. But there you go, losing the eastern fuel point, losing points here as well. Astronaut could, at this point, also considering out soon to actually lay down some fighting positions, using his rifle to set up some, well, basically defensive positions, making it much harder for Jove to gain any territory. Bunker up there. Sort of heal troops up. Nothing further from the base here. No pack cards, down to tank gun. Fighting positions will be good, you know, maybe here, or so everywhere really. He's got plenty of munitions, plenty of manpower. Of course, I imagine there's going to be some brown light machine guns sort of being handed out as soon as he can, but you know, even then, fighting position in the right place can do lots to stall Jove further. Again, we're seeing some aggressive work here on the sides. He's not pushing too hard towards the centre. Probably where the sniper operates the most. He doesn't really want you to defeat the sniper there, which is certainly a sensible approach there from Astronaut. But at the same time, he still wants to keep up the pressure there versus Jove. So instead, he's striking at the sides, and more particularly versus the fuel point and the victory points. Already having a minor lead there versus Jove. Sniper gaining veterans you want. Incendiary explosive rounds there available. We got a pack 40 on the way at the same time as the steward is almost done. He could, of course, rush the steward up there with the captain, in which case he might be able to help you about the 6-minute mark. Looks like he decides not to. Grenadiers have pushed back for the riflemen. Guys here, but they've seen better days there in the sawmill. Most of them are already rather dead. In particular, Tommy is very dead. Grenadiers have pushed back. 4-man left to hold the line. Captain's flanking in, going further for the cut-off. He's basically denying as much territory as he can. Of course, if the student support, he's really going to have, you know, a position there of great strength versus Jove. And considering the overall situation, I should begin sort of preparing defences, digging in, mines if you can with the rifle. And then again, I have heard the mines there about the M7, so I can understand why he won't do it at the moment. But there's still fighting positions, tank traps, sandbags. I mean, there are a lot of options there to solve things. And he got the sniper with the steward. He didn't get the pack 40 if he wanted, I think. It looks like he's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. No, pulls away. He does not try to deliver a coup de grace there. Dagger into the underbelly of Jove. Instead, he pulls away there. MD-42 there rounding out to help Jove hold territory. I think he should have had one out sooner. So the sniper ultimately didn't pay off as much there for Jove as it could have here versus Astronaut, who in the end got it with the steward light tank, but even then, you know, kept sort of a bit on bait, because, well, overall Jove was very hesitant about using his sniper, but Jove conceded a lot of territory to, well, Astronaut, instead of maybe having gone for an MD-42, got more territory, but also help, you know, the infantry a bit better at bay. We've got Brown Lap Machine Gun on the way. We got Mobile Defense, which seems to be sort of the crutch there after Mechanized Assault was basically sort of put out its, well, dominant position. It's now this with armored cars, command tanks. It's not omnipotent, but, you know, it can still threaten a bit, and certainly also help versus the more increased aggressive light vehicle play we are seeing from both the Americans and the Surge, with their stewards and their T-70s being available sooner. Pack houses they're firing away with the 75mm gun. Grenadiers versus riflemen. Pack 40 with more Grenadier support sneaking up there with an MD-42 following suit. Larger push here. Got Aviation's holding up here with a minesweeper. Instead, the Germans try to creep up on them with mines. You know, Sarge, I don't think that's how mines work. Shut it, George. I'm gonna have you clean the toilets. There aren't any toilets here. Yet. Anyways, assault here. Not working out 12 rush straight to him. Fortunate pack 40 here. He's got no grenades, no smoke to basically clear up this. Otherwise, you know, he could, I think, kept it up. But instead, the assault here pretty much peters out very rapidly. And he's going to have to fall back here. Unless, of course, he actually wants to waste a lot of manpower here. And there you go, forced away. I think he lost one more man in the process to the MU-42 there, but he's certainly proving its worth already. And of course the question is again, why didn't he just go for this instead of a sniper? Of course, and that's only a question that Joe can really answer. Realize they're not doing too well. Men are dropping as flies inside the building. Ambulance on the way there for astronauts will help him heal up his troops. No grenades though, plenty of munitions. I imagine more light machine guns will be handed out to his men, so again pressure Jove's troops. And we got Osram arriving here to help him grab territory. I imagine draw fire away from the more important troops. So Sergei, what is the name of this mission? I think Operation Do Not Let the Germans Die, Instead Kill the Russians. I have a bad feeling about this. Stuart, they're taking it from the back 40. Grabbing points there. Still, Astronaut are all maintaining good map control. Again, I do think fighting positions in certain places could help a bit. So of course, they would be exposed to Pack 40, but at the same time, it would sort of form, well, halt Joe a bit. Of course, maybe give an option to flank that Pack 40 and the other support weapons. Ostrom here, support by an ME42, push up the centre up and stop there. Then it's moving up here, rather than halt it there as well in advance. And again, they're going to lose, probably won't have too much fun either. The only advantage they have currently is that Astronaut doesn't have any grenades for his men, others could probably have blown them to bits. Still, Jove is doing his best to sort of push back Astronaut here. Which isn't necessarily much, but it is something. There we go, Puma arrives, the 234-2. Captain dealing with the grenades over there, but charging straight to that machine gun, not going to work out too well there. The LMG-42. Backbone of the German infantry, if it wasn't the MG-34, depending of course the quality of the unit, essentially low rate units will in most cases have an MG-34, whereas high rate units will have the MG-42. Panzer Grenadier divisions and Panzer divisions would usually have about 2 light machine guns per each infantry squad compared to regular infantry divisions, and this they were also rated highly, which would only have 1. That was based sort of the standard organisational rate there. Fun facts about German infantry organisation, not something he talked about as much, but there you go. But again, Astronaut keeping up pressure. Again, he's maintaining so much map control, but to a certain extent, but it's through just bleeding manpower. It's not really any defences being prepared. Of course, that's the thing to keep in mind. If you have a lot of territory, you also need somehow to defend it. Bunkers, machine guns, things like that are very good options here. But so far, Astronaut's not really heading into that. You could, of course, that hits the dirt or defensive stance here and there. That could certainly help. Pack 40 moving up there. Ostrom moving in. Looks like he's paying for a larger push here. Basically giving up here for the time being. That could work out. There we go. Hits the barrels instead. Good job there, Heinz. Puma at the same time running about there with his 50mm gun. More or less in terms of effectiveness, the same as a Panther III's gun. There we go, flanks the Steward, good job there, no anti-tank and supporting. Engaging here, a few hits, there we go. Steward attack to push out into the open. Pack got a hit there, but Sam and Puma couldn't finish off the job there. Anti-tank gun moving up. Bit of sort of checking back and forth overall though. Astronaut still maintaining a sort of strong defensive position. Of course, it's not all, you know, beer and skittles. Joe, though, still has a large force, so he can still do a lot of damage if he sort of aims it correctly. And of course there's also another problem, which is that at the moment Astronaut has to maintain a very long supply chain from his base. It is, you know, there's a lot more time spent running back and forth and reinforcing, which again would also make, you know, fighting position the likes, you know, forming up a forward point much better. Ambulance, Major, set up further to the front line. That way again he can ensure he doesn't have to run back and forth, and that way maintain the vice-like regularity of Joe better. But so far that doesn't seem to be quite the case, and it does give, you know, Joe more chance to do. Again, he doesn't have such a large, you know, supply line, if you will. He doesn't have to constantly run back and forth so long, so in that way he can keep up the momentum better versus Astronaut at the moment. So there's a bit of a problem here for Astronaut if he's not careful. Hanging about with his men out in the open as well poses another problem. There you go, we're seeing here that Jove is up with renewed aggressive strength there, getting stunned though. Anti-tank could try and turn about there. It's not though, coming up one of these here. Packhouse joining as well, but not quite succeeding. Looks like the NC will do that. Throw away the Steward here, trying to get it. Anti-tank was not properly supported. Steward knocked out here. Astronaut might have overreached. Giving the Puma in the process. Veteran to 1. Target weak point there. Heat rounds handed out to the crew. So there we go. A fighting position here again would easily slow things down. and bought Astronaut more time. I mean, that's the thing to keep out when you're in a defensive position in most cases. Don't think of them as a permanent fixture. They're not going to be the 6-foot line or the National line. They're basically there to buy you time, slow down an opponent, give you time to maybe flank around, do some damage, or bring up more troops to hold the line. And most of them actually deter harassers on a more permanent basis, but beyond that, they're just there to slow things down, give you more time to act and react. So right now, of course, things have changed, and that's right because, again, in that sense, Jove had the attacker's advantage. Again, you might see, but his opponent had the entire map, yes, but it also means he had a lot more to defend, and he also had much, longer time to run back and forth, which gives more time to push back. And in that sense, Astronaut lacked the measures to basically actually hold the territory, a longer basis. Again, he had no fort reinforcement position, no defences, no machine guns, no riflemen in, say, infantry fighting position, whatever, defensive fighting there. So in that sense, it did give Jove some optimal chance to push forwards and do some damage. Though, of course, we do see a Jack being followed up here trying to get the pack out. I don't think that's going to work out for those grenadiers as they encounter the 50 caliber machine gun. Because they're being held out, so now we're seeing some more defensive stances here from Astronaut though. And there you go, large into push up here, sneaking up there, we got Ostrom holding up the building there. Everyone is not looking for the fuel point except Boris there. We're pulling back as well, close to victory 2 though. Victory points though, last advantage there to Astronaut. Is about to get wiped out. That would be a good hit right there for Astronaut. In particular, they drop a lot of machine gun, but looks like that is not. Oh! Reinhardt there successfully escaped the grasp of the US forces. And he follows up with a command tank. No tank up there from Jove. I'm a bit disappointed with that. I mean, of course, it's probably more of a sort. He's still feeling pressured by Astronaut. He needs to just call in something, to support his troops. The problem is, Puma and command tank can only last that long without some actual armor support. And there we go, into tank got a good hit alongside the Jackson. And that was more or less half health gone there already for Jove's Panzer.
Okay, order!
So there you go, grabbing back territory once more for the United States there. Keeping momentum otherwise quite nicely there versus Jove.
Opponents are seizing a sector.
Since again, Jove didn't really himself either have any sort of defensive positions. Also, they're caught by several light machine guns. That's a 30 caliber fire they're raking down against them. Sniper joining in. There's actually call out a second sniper here at this point. Interesting move there by Jove. No, say Panzer Blaze will give him more offensive element. Also entombed. Command tank with barely any health to its name. Let's turn the pack out. You could project using some white phosphorus that can do a lot of damage and slow down Jove's offensive further. And remember, artillery can also use sort of basically break up and attack and force them back again already, and that could certainly benefit Astronaut here. So a bit of white phosphorus, for example, here could really make a mess out of Jove's offensive plans for the fatherland. We're going the territory here while he's occupied here. Good job there. Good tactical sense there by Astronaut. Needs to be careful of his riflemen, not extending too far, not bleeding them out too much either. Bit of a 2-5 there. We got his Scott on the way there for Astronaut. Not say a Sherman, but he's Scott. He's just a more bombardier at the moment. He just wants to sort of sit back a bit and just, pound away at Jove from a safer distance. Can't fault him for that, though of course it could prove a bit risky. If he's not careful with the Scots, they need to be properly guarded, otherwise the Puma will hunt them down and probably knock them out rapidly. Another Scot there on the... No, that's still the same one. Silly me. Still an upgrade for the rifleman, no grenades, no nothing. Jove again. He seems to be more focused now, actually finding control on the fuel points. And there's sort of more clearer lines of defense again. The MD-42 helps to maintain some control there. He's got to be careful about here, but so far Astronaut hasn't really pushed hard for the cut-offs around here. Giving Jove a bit more time to operate with. There we go, command tank striking at the rifleman. It's time here for the mid-game analysis. Counter-chasing is again. But overall, Astronaut's got the upper hand here. The question is sort of how Jove's prepared, because ultimately there's limits to how far he can push at the moment. He's got a large force, but again, so to some extent Jove does have a decent one as well. He's got a bit more home territory advantage. Again, he's got the advantage, but he doesn't have to run back and forth too far. And again, he doesn't have to worry about suppressor weapons or anything like that too much. So really the question is, what does Astronaut do? He sort of should try and prepare the defences in what he does have. Tank traps could find to a lot of there, for example. I mean, say he knows everything's happening over here, leave a small infantry to sort of keep things occupied, and then lay up a lot of tank traps. So, for example, you know, Jove has to move his vehicles towards the centre or the west. I mean, if you can just do that, that would mean a lot more there for Astronaut, since again, that means you can just focus with, for example, the Jackson and the anti-tank gun around here and here. I mean, that would make his job a lot easier. It also makes things a lot harder for Joe. Of course, there'll still be infantry here, but then it's a throttle fighting position, and even the anti-tank guns won't be able to help. So, I mean, there are a lot of sort of, you know, knock-on effects to keep in mind there. Once you sort of first do one thing, you know, there's a lot more to come that way. You know, just a suggestion. I mean, he doesn't have to do it, but I really think the defensive element is something that Astronaut needs to keep in mind. Otherwise, a forward fighting position with the ambulance and the mania, maybe around here, would do him a lot of good as well. It would make him a lot harder to push off, give him more time to, you know, run back and forth. I think that would be a really strong option there for Astronaut. I mean, I'll add a few more weapons, I suppose. And a part of me would say eventually, you know, consider taking back for the Lieutenant. You know, the Lieutenant stuff is pretty good, but also get maybe an M20, lay down some mines, or get up a 50 caliber. That could also work instead of the fighting positions. But I do think fighting positions around here, maybe here, and, you know, maybe one around here, once he's taking this back, could really do him a lot of good. Maybe positions around there could do a lot to, again, further slow down Joe and sort of further drain Joe of victory points. I mean, that would really be a good option right there as well. And of course, also make it harder for Joe to harass and make it harder for his infantry to move out on the battlefield. All of those would be good. So I definitely think that's sort of something there to Astronaut to consider. Otherwise, grenades for his rifleman, you know, if he wants to really keep you up with the pressure, lay down some smoke screens before attacking. For Joe, here the things are really tricky. He needs to take up, he needs a medium armor to contest what Astronaut has. Command tank Puma is not going to last for very long, in particular if Sherman's brought onto the field alongside the Jackson. What Jove here has will crumble very, very swiftly. Pentagonist would be another option there, something more offensive in terms of infantry. Though, of course, they will struggle quite heavily there with life from the Brown light machine guns, and the kind of diesel light machine guns to some extent are not a bad option either. In fact, they're pretty good. Otherwise, a few mines here and there, but again, fight for the fuel point, get it back, consider setting up some bunkers himself to make things more miserable for Astronaut. Again, maybe sort of have something to draw the anti-tank and Jackson into, in which case you can maybe ambush them there. Otherwise, try and break harder into the right-hand side, send some smaller harassers there, and again, try to draw away efforts from elsewhere. And otherwise, be bloody careful, but otherwise, primarily, take up. And otherwise, I don't know, try and bleed out Astronaut. I mean, he's got a lot of infantry, he's got the captain and such. I mean, there's certainly some options there for bleeding out Astronaut. If you can do that, that would certainly give him another chance of getting back in the fight. But it's going to be a bit risky unless Astronaut suddenly commits a huge mistake. So let's return to the fight and see what happens next. Sniper running about there, 9 kills. Jackson looking for something to deal with, there we go. Command tank, of course, spotted. Captain trying to deal with it, though. Not a good position there. There's not really a lot of cover that directly helps him, which means the command tank, they will have an easier time of dealing with the rifleman. And to tank, though, Jackson moving up. Command tank, they might be in trouble, force to pull back.
75mm gun carrier ready.
Ostorben, Pioneers heading eastwards, then backwards. Further fighting here. Then it's trying to deal with the cannon light machine gun. Heavy machine gun to points well, that's good. Defensive positions. Grenades here would be excellent, but no, we got a 2-set on the MU-42 and the sniper. Forcing very quick to pull away there. And they're going to forced to run back as well. This artillery, though, is delayed, so basically he's just sort of paid a lot of munitions to get the enemy to run away and crash a boat. The crowd boat. Sarge, is this Das Boot they're talking about? Maybe it is, George. Maybe it is. Then again, Das Boot may be a lot bigger. Command tank there moving about, opening up the riflemen. Puma still hanging back there, and we got more gunners on the way, so it's basically going for the gunners. I mean, again, the Panzer has a problem here with all these rifles, Brown machine guns. I mean, they're going to cut down if they try to explode. Longer ranges, they can't really compete either. So it's a bit more tricky here for Panzer to really do something, and I suppose in that sense, you know, Brown machine guns bad does sort of lock down the Panzer gunners option, which does force him to have to rely on snipers and gunners like machine guns, where he does have a better chance at the other ranges.
Gun batteries report barrage strikes.
There's moving up there, getting cut down. Command tank the rate to support. Ish. And there we go. Got a wipe there. Bit too slow to retreat there. And he took the command tank there light. And then again, the command tank's going to be taking the anti-tank guns lightly. Public smoke there. Grabbed the blind machine gun. Barely got away. The command tank main gun is wrecked. Now we got Benz there laying down a murderous storm of fire there from in the smoke, cutting down the anti-tank guns, gaining victory in the process. Not bad. Jackson almost knocked out here by the Puma. Victory too, by the way. Woo. Damn close main gun destroyed as well there. Is he bombarding with the pack howitzer? No, he's actually moved it rather dangerously close to the front line here. Actually, needs to be careful there, needs to be careful. Astronaut might be overreaching there. And right now, there's a small chance he basically gets it cleared out quickly, and then of course, Jove may run out off with it. Still, both vehicles and armour there up for some time there with the main guns wrecked. That should give Astronaut a chance to maybe push ahead there. Ostrom annihilated by the Scot. Needs to pull back the repairs. Jackson being repaired. Come on, white phosphorus. Don't forget you have white phosphorus. It might not be as accurate, but it does have a bit more AoE, and it does just, you know, harm your opponent, force him to retreat nonetheless. Plus, of course, there's still smoke, which also means you can, in theory, you know, attack forwards through it. Well, he's past it. Instead, he's... come on, Astronaut, don't forget your artillery does have more options than one. And he's basically forgetting all about it. Instead, he's calling in another barrage here. Again, not quite as fast. I think white phosphorus or just a regular barrage would have served him much better there. So a bit of support there in Mr. Jove. Just a bit. Right, moving up to see what the grenadiers there. Going for the point there. And we got the MG42 that pushed away with some damage. But there you go, we do see there's not there's a pack out, he's pulling a bit back there. Jackson supporting for some reason. Nothing has not repaired the Scot at all. And he's not getting any further armour. Of course, there might be a sort of situation just fitting in more infantry to the situation instead of, you know, maybe considering things a bit differently, maybe going for some armour first, or laying down some smoke, which overall is now currently into some heavier manpower bleed there for Astronaut, which is to the advantage of Jove. He can keep this up, though it's certainly not without some harm to himself. But right now, Jove, or Astronaut, is saying, you know, preparing for more armour, and again pushing Jove in that point because he's not quite prepared for it at the moment. He's just, you know, feeding infinite, bleeding manpower, which can use for armour. I mean, right now, Astronaut has to feel more or less closer to Shermans, which could really do a lot of damage here, support by the Jackson and the Scot right now versus Jove. Instead, he's just being ripe, and of course, in this sense, Jove is still slowly working towards hard countering grenadiers like machine guns to a certain extent. I mean, they're not perfect. I mean, they can still bleed out a lot, but they're certainly going to have an easier time in it than, say, you know, Astronaut was, say, moving in with an anti-Shermans. Of course, with grenadiers type buildings as well, like machine gun, they're definitely very difficult to, you know, remove. And attacking those head-on with infantry is very much a losing proposition there for Astronaut, unless he's got smoke or artillery to support. And the artillery is apparently not really interested in working with the infantry. Got the Puma now, got the Puma. That's going to hurt Joe. That is going to hurt a lot. He's basically down to the anti-tank and the Puma. He's getting another Scot for some reason. Astronaut is neglecting any chance to have the Sherman and some high-close rounds. I really think, you know, if you do that, also see Joe is just rushing for every victory point. Sherman's really would be a good chance. Now, this is where Joe is getting desperate. Sherman's really the best chance here of really taking advantage of that with, say, 50 carbs on top. Moving around, blasting targets there. Oh, dear, there we go, there we go. Looks like Astronaut might be getting a bit overconfident again. 43 points there. Almost got the Scot there. Veterans, one needs to pull it back, Type 40 moving back. Further in. Dear, he's moving in for another shot there. Oh, almost got the wipe there. Needs to get the Scot out of there. Needs to get it out of there. And there we go. Scot knocked out. Astronaut in this case pushed a bit too far. He might not quite be thinking completely straight there again with the 43 victory points left. I mean, this is the sort of situation where some players tend to basically ignore all the negative aspects, just take all the risky shots they can because they just figure, you know, again, 43 minutes, I just have to do it for that long. If I can, I won this, then it won't matter the long term. And that's the case for sort of players of the more cool-headed kind from the other side, then can sort of punish their opponents very hard. So if that happens right now, I mean, that could basically be Joe's golden chance here because there's sort of, I mean, already Astronaut sort of missed a lot on Tuesday with the Shermans. Sort of push forwards aggressively. I mean, the sort of force right now I don't think works quite for the sort of full optimization there with Scots, particularly because he's just using the artillery, he's not using for smoke, and again, just, you know, you'd say attacking from the lines. I mean, if he had, say, 2 Shermans by now earlier, he could probably sort of attack through here, the east, which again is very open, got behind Joe's lines, and did a lot of damage there. Another artillery strike. Astronaut seems to be making a lot of sort of not very solid choices of fuel all of a sudden. This could easily become advantageous to Jove in the longer run. In the short one, there you go. Excellent rifle grenade. Excellent. And the pack out hasn't been cleared out. Bunker going up here. Now it's Jove turn to actually prepare for the defense, but besides the MG42, so he's getting more off, he's also getting bunkers up. So in that sense, you know, Jove is displaying a stronger tactical and strategic grasp of the situation than Astronaut at the moment. Well, Astronaut did moments ago, but he still needs to get some armor out. He can't really keep up it. Please don't get a Puma, Jove. Please. And finally some armor on the way there for Astronaut, but again he had the situation where he could have gotten tanks up sooner, much sooner, and crushed Jove. Bunker roll. Oh, he's not upgrading it though, he's lacking the munitions. Needs to move in troops, of course he can soon probably spot the pack howitzer and then grab it himself for some artillery there. But I do think, you know, he could maybe go for some pencils, thinking he's simply not enough riflemen now to, you know, make it work that way. But he's finally getting some Shermans, finally. But of course the question is it now too late? And there we go, the pack howitzer's being run off with. Still looks like they're crewing it, though a lot more lately. Almost like they're sleeping, except they aren't. Command tank closing in victory. 2 Sherman moving in there, 50 cal on the way. He switched over to high close around here. Which is showing you nicely with the infantry on the max. There we go, he focuses down, and there we go, German pack howitzer opens up. Not the best start though there for the Sherman. 2 hits there consecutively on the and misses more specifically on the MG42. It's a bit of an awkward start there. And he's moving straight from the anti-tank gun, which Jove also managed to do there from Astronaut. He's clearly pushed his support weapons a bit too far. They might actually get behind and knock it out. There you go. Might want to lay down some smoke. Needs to retreat. He's already down to less than half health here. Go. Oh, he's moving closer to the enemy anti-tank gun. He's not smoked up. Oh. Astronaut. There we go. Command tank lost.
We just lost a medium tank.
And where was the support? Nowhere to be seen. That was rather reckless. Again, this idea again. There's only 43 points to go. I can do whatever I want without really suffering too heavy consequence, or because again the game's not going to last that long. Getting another Sherman there. Hopefully it will do better this time around for him. In the meanwhile, Jove really needs to take out. I mean, still, Astronaut suddenly begins handling that Sherman. Jackson's got better. He's going to need something like, say, at least a Stoops to deal with it. We do see some armor to go out for the Panzer IV command tank. Major almost wiped. Almost, but not quite. Rather not being pulled back from reinforcement. And basically here things are stalled due to, of course, the presence of the bunker. My apologies there. My apologies there as well.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
So, Sherman number 2 there for Astronaut. He can almost get another one actually already. Yeah, pretty much. He just needs a bit more manpower. You can call in the second show, in which case he might just have enough resources to remake something more serious to flip Joe with at the moment. 2 is... Oh, finally taking up. Only took him half an hour. Then again, it's only now really to maintain a good grasp, but even then, you know, he's had quite some fuel for some time, so I think an earlier take-up would have served him quite well as well. Might have been able to punish Astronaut here for his transgressions, besides, you know, his name, maybe. But of course, there we go, second Sherman. So soon here, Astronaut will have a larger armoured force to threaten Joe with. But I do think he could have one up much sooner and much more potent, in the sense that versus Joe, of course, now is finally going to have some maybe serious counters to it. If say gets out some Stoops. Well, as opposed to regular Panzer IVs. Plus, of course, he's still got the anti-tank guns, including the ones he stole from Astronaut. Put it from the command tank, 40 kills in the name of the Reich.
tank support is here. Sherman
Almost
ready.
got the rifle there on the retreat. Negative cover not helping up. We got a Sherman there arriving. Can he save the day? Pretty much. They're taking losses though from the Scott, which was by the way based on the Stuart chassis. A few sort of variants of things they were based on, including a small armoured personnel carrier, which I believe by the British and the Canadians, the Jackalope or something like that. Little fun fact there as well. I do not believe the Americans utilised that. Overall, they just stuck to the half tracks. The Brits and the Commonwealth allies were always the ones to experiment with different kinds of armoured personnel carriers. The most infamous and company use is, of course, being the Kangaroo. Good for the Pack 40 on the Sherman. Sherman striking in there, hit on the engine. And there you go, knocked out. No smoke though when he attacked head on there. And that's rather reckless there by Astronaut. Another anti-tank firing over there. He's at least going to smoke there. Even then, again, it would show display he's aware of smoke. Yes, there we go. He, this time around, actually smokes up. How can he done it there? He just had two Shermans now. Instead, he's down to one Sherman, one Scott, one Jackson. Almost got the anti-tank on there. A lot of weapons we can try and grab. He should push onwards. Packhouse getting hit there on the Scott. Almost got the anti-tank. They got command tank. We're getting good in the rear. Where's the other troops? There's barely any troops left for Astronaut. I think some reasons we could hit to rush up, taking advantage of all the drop weapons there. Main gun destroyed. Jackson needs to move up, get off some armor piercing rounds to increase penetration, but also damage. Not forget the extra damage. Front armor there. Get the Sherman out of there, get the Sherman out of there, and get some reasons up. Grab the anti-tank on the MD-42 and the pack howitzer. Quickly grab as much as you can, Astronaut. Jackson almost got the command tank. Stuck close to halfway done. Half 32 gauge close, that gets close to the Grenadiers and that Panzerfaust. Command tank, there was also tragic loss there. A heroic German officer burning alive alongside his crew. There we go, dealing with the bunker. So now Jove in a slightly perilous situation again. He's still got, one Sherman there. Had there been both Shermans, things would have looked a lot more bleak here for Jove, but thankfully, no!
The capture point is under attack.
What are you doing? And as soon as you guys get the engine fixed, he rushes ahead and gets the crew killed, burnt alive. What a waste there for Sherman. Oh no, I mean, we can clearly again sense there's desperation again. He was just thinking, I just need to hold them just a bit longer. Just a bit longer. Doesn't matter how many left burning in their tanks. I'll get victory and I'll outshine Patton.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture
So now we got Pack 40 being rushed in. No! Accidentally moved his crew out in the open! No!
an anti-tank gun.
No! No!
Remaining. We're getting plastered over
I mean, he probably still would have lost it there, maybe, but oh! I'm guessing it. Astronaut was basically frantically trying to do something. No, he's using attack to try and take the ground again. He just knew. I just need to hold a bit longer. And this really see here, Astronaut just absolutely frantically throwing everything away, including a Jackson in the end, just to try and get victory through that. Oh dear.
Just wasted some of our riflemen.
I mean, this is basically, victory point madness, if you will. Again, that sort of point, again, you got a large lead, your opponent doesn't, and you just throw caution to the wind. Right, been wiped. I mean, again, it's just so clear now. I mean, Astronaut is not seeing anything besides those 9 victory points at the moment.
Rifle squad ready for
He's
action.
just throwing everything away. Everything. And there you go. In the end, Astronaut has to realise he's basically ruined himself, and there we go, game over. I mean, again, strong start there from Astronaut. Punish Jove's weak start. But again, the natural conclusion, at least from my perspective, didn't follow up with this again, fortifying what you then had in terms of large territory and getting armour. Instead, he went for a tank destroyer, that's not bad. Helped deal with, what Jove had at the point. Scots, though, not really sort of engagement. I really think the favourite again. I think Shermans would have served better. And again, finding precision. None of that really happened then when he finally got the Shermans. He didn't make mistakes. But again, that was basically where the victory point madness set in. And he just sort of got really, made some mistakes, in particular the Sherman assault here. Should have smoked first, then charged in. Had he been able to maintain both Shermans, I think there's still been a good chance there, but ultimately the Astronaut basically threw it all out the window. In his lust for victory, he could see nothing else, and ended up including handing over Jackson to the Germans. That one's going to have to smart beat, in particular the way it happened. So there you go, a brutal fight in many senses. And ultimately, though, Jove proved himself to be the more level-headed player here than Astronaut, and ultimately came out victorious. So it was damn close, and he really should have checked up sooner and gone for some armour himself there. I mean, the Reformer quad felt definitely came much too late there. And had again not been for Astronaut's, avarice, well, he would have won over Jove here. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, want to subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. If not, that's unfortunate, but send in a replay and put some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Ding. Cheers, thank you for watching, and see you all tomorrow. Bye!